So this story begins. And we hear the voice of some goblins, and those goblins are saying, "The chief is dead." Dead? The chief's weapon is mine now. Now, I am the chief. And another goblin says, "Nonsense. You're talking nonsense." But then another goblin attacks that goblin and says to him, "I am the new chief. Go to hell." Then after that we see that many goblins together start attacking one goblin. And all of them are fighting very dangerously. And one goblin is laughing and saying, "Prey. The chief left some untouched prey. Let's go take it back." And the other goblin says, "But, the guy guarding the prey." But then another goblin comes to that place, and all the goblins are very surprised, and the name of that goblin is Lin Tian. And all those goblins are about to return. It's him. He's the one guarding the prey. Disgusting creature. He covers his body like a human. He knows where the prey is. He's definitely going to keep the prey for himself. Let's follow him. Take the prey away. But then one goblin says to the other goblin, "Wait a bit longer, some guys already went to find the prey earlier. They're tough guys. Once they start fighting, we will go." And Lin Tian is listening to the conversation of those goblins. And then Lin Tian hears someone shouting, and someone is saying, "Help! Don't touch me!" And as soon as Lin Tian hears that voice, he gets very surprised. And he starts running very fast, and Lin Tian comes to a place chasing that voice. And we see that some goblins are doing very bad things with a girl, and that girl is saying, "I don't want to give birth to goblin children. Stop!" And that girl is very nervous, and very scared, and is screaming loudly. And all the goblins together want to do bad things with her, and the goblins have torn the clothes of that girl. And we see that Lin Tian is watching all these things, and he is saying, "You guys, let her go." And then another goblin comes in front of Lin Tian to fight, and that goblin says to him, "It's you again. This freak. The chief is dead, this prey is mine. If you dare take my prey, then..." And all the goblins together move forward to attack Lin Tian, and are about to kill him, and they even attack him, and Lin Tian is thinking, "Damn it. These damn goblins, I can't believe even these low-level goblins. No. I can't die here. I have to survive." But then Lin Tian attacks those goblins and kills one of them. And seeing these two goblins get very scared, and Lin Tian is telling those goblins, "If I don't leave, you die." Then on hearing Lin Tian's words, all those goblins get very scared, and start running away from this place. And Lin Tian is telling them that, "You guys stop. I will kill you guys right here." But then Lin Tian becomes a little weak and starts falling. But the girl starts holding Lin Tian, and keeps saying to him, "Hey, Goblin, are you okay? Thank you for saving me again. You didn't harm me and kept protecting me. You really are a different kind of goblin. Please don't die." And then the system opens in front of Lin Tian, seeing which Lin Tian is very shocked, and at the same time he is thinking, "A different kind of goblin, but I was once a human too. Boss. He's alive! But I didn't expect that instead of meeting God after being hit by a dump truck, I will be transported to another world with a system. Although I have a system, it still has not fully activated, other than being able to see some stats. It doesn't seem to have any other functions. However, I haven't been idle these past few days. From what this woman has told me, I've gained some understanding of this world. This world created by goos has various powerful monsters, and humans have carved out their place on this continent with their strength. But the goblin I reincarnated as is the weakest and most filthy monster in this world. Killed. And we can see Lin Tian's status, name, Lin Tian, race, goblin, God's blessing, level 5, racial skill, gene devour, equipment, rough stone knife, overall combat power 30. And Lin Tian is speaking, "Yes, my stats are really low. Even among goblins, I could be easily. There is a way to get stronger. And that's to mate with these girls. Goblins have the ability to get stronger through constant mating and reproduction, but they have no females, so to reproduce, they can only mate with other female creatures, which is why they constantly plunder. But, I used to be a human. Doing such things is really Then the girl says to Lin Tian, "Hey, don't worry. After spending these days with you, I understand now. You are very different. You don't really want to live with these goblins, right?" And after listening to that girl, Lin Tian becomes silent. Then the girl further says, "Don't worry. When the Night Order comes to rescue me, I'll tell them you saved me. The Night Order is always fair and just. They will definitely agree to let you live in the village." And after listening to all the things said by that girl, Lin Tian is thinking, she's not wrong. Even if the system can't activate, as long as I hold out until the humans come to rescue them and gain their protection, I can survive first and then slowly figure out how to activate this system. Damn it! Those goblins are coming back. And Lin Tian asks the girl to hide somewhere, then the girl also agrees to this. Then Lin Tian gets ready to fight with those goblins. And we see that a goblin moves towards that girl. Is going on, and he is saying, Humans are here. I want to mate. Getting stronger means not getting killed." And we see Lin Tian, who is getting very angry, and he has shot that person. He attacks the goblin and cuts off his neck. He kills him very easily, and Lin Tian says, "Hey, it looks like the humans are here to rescue you." And on hearing this, the girl becomes very happy, and she is saying, "Really? It must be the Holy Order. Great. Let's go check." Then both of them start moving forward, and as they reach ahead, we see that some people are killing goblins in front of them, and Lin Tian is very shocked to see this, and we see a man, name, Loader race, human, level 25, class, swordsman, skills, sword chi/sword dance, holy skill, sword return to heaven, equipment, judgment sword, platinum armor, overall combat power, 400. Then Loader says, "Damn it. These filthy creatures. They tore my Holy Order uniform." And Lin Tian is thinking, looking at Loader, it's the first time I've seen such high stats since I came here. Is this really a human? Then the girl is very happy seeing Loader. And the girl runs towards Loader, but Lin Tian is thinking, they easily dealt with those goblins. No, wait. And then Lin Tian feels something, due to which Lin Tian gets scared. And we see that Loader has turned his sword towards that girl, and Loader has attacked the girl. But at the right time Lin Tian has saved that girl from Loader's attack, and both of them fall away. Then Lin Tian gets shocked. But he is scared and he is thinking, aren't they here to rescue people? Why are they attacking? Is it because the cave is too dark, and they mistook this girl for a goblin? And Loader comes in front of them and is emitting his dangerous aura, and he is saying to them, it's a disgrace that a goblin dodged my attack. And the girl shouts to Loader, Commander. It's me. I'm Kelia. But Loader says, shut up, Kelia, I know it's you. But you've been defiled by goblins, you might even be carrying a goblin's spawn, it's ridiculous for a filthy thing like you to expect mercy from me. Go repent your sins to the Great Holy Mother. And the girl catches hold of Loader's clothes and says to him, Commander. Wait. Although I was captured, I wasn't defiled by the goblins. It was him. This goblin protected me. And the girl points towards Lin Tian. But Loader is not listening to the girl and he is saying, if you're going to make up stories, at least make them believable. Do you take me for a fool? Go meet your end with these lowly creatures. And Loader again raises his sword on the girl and is about to kill her. But then Lin Tian comes in front of the girl very fast, and he says to the girl, run. There's an exit that way. Get out of here. Then Lin Tian picks up a stick and moves forward to fight with Loader. But he is thinking, damn it. I didn't expect this outcome. But then a golden-colored energy starts shining. And then someone comes to that place, and she tells Loader to stop. And we see that she has made a barrier, and we see that a woman is ahead at that place, who has saved Lin Tian from Loader's attack, and that woman is saying, this goblin seems a bit strange. And the girl becomes very happy after seeing the Holy Maiden, and she is saying to the Holy Maiden, save me, Holy Maiden. And that girl goes to the Holy Maiden. Then the Holy Maiden says to Lin Tian, Goblin, can you understand my words? And Lin Tian is thinking, looking at the Holy Maiden, she is the Holy Maiden Ephraia, the spokesperson of the temple they talked about. If I want to leave here, this might be my only hope. Then Lin Tian says to the holy maiden, I can. You are the holy maiden they mentioned, right? I'm actually not a monster of this world. I used to be human. I became like this because of an accident. I can explain everything if I go with you. And on hearing Lin Tian's words, Loder says to the holy maiden, it does seem smarter than those goblins, quite rare. And the holy maiden laughs and says, goblins are usually stupid and lowly creatures. They can't speak and think so fluently. He might be a gift from the Holy Mother. Kelia, did this goblin really not hurt you? So the girl says, yes, not only did he not hurt me, but he also protected me from other goblins and gave me food. And on hearing the girl's words, the holy maiden says, alright, since it's so special, let's take it back first. We'll study it thoroughly before making a decision. And the holy maiden asks Lin Tian, are you willing? Lin Tian happily says, I am willing. I'll go with you. And Lin Tian is thinking, finally, someone who can listen to reason. Since staying means death, I might as well go back and prove my innocence. And then the holy maiden uses her power, and removes the barrier on Lin Tian. Then the holy maiden while leaving from here says, okay, then let's go, Loder. Understood. And Lin Tian is saying to the holy maiden, thank you for your kindness. I will repay you properly, And the holy maiden says, of course. And then blood starts splattering. And Loder has killed that girl with his sword. And when Lin Tian notices this, he gets very scared, and when he looks back, the girl is lying on the ground, and she is dead. And seeing this, Lin Tian gets very scared, and the holy maiden says to Lin Tian with a dangerous face, when we get back, you better repay me well. 1 week later. And we see a bright town. And Loder gathers a lot of people at one place, and Loder is saying to them, villagers, children of God, this goblin raid has brought great harm to the bright town. The goblins used despicable sneak attacks to slaughter 30 residents of Bright Town. And after listening to Loder, all the villagers get very angry at the goblins. And they are saying, damned goblins! Blood for blood, an eye for an eye. Humans and goblins are mortal enemies. And Loder further says to those villagers, however, the Holy Order, on behalf of the temple, has purged these goblins. Avenge the harmed villagers. Then the holy maiden comes forward and she tells those villagers, continue to pray devoutly to the temple. The temple will always protect her devout followers. And all the villagers become very happy after listening to the holy maiden's words. After this the scene shifts, and we see another place, where there are a lot of books, which are scattered, and the holy maiden is saying, phew, today's sermon was a success, they're as foolish as ever. Now they will pray even more devoutly to the temple and offer more tributes. Then we see Lin Tian, who is in a very bad condition, and has an iron cage on his face. And he is talking to the holy maiden while taking her name, and the holy maiden is looking at Lin Tian. And we see that the holy maiden has made Lin Tian's condition very bad. The holy maiden has taken out one of Lin Tian's eyes, and has melted half of his body, due to which Lin Tian is in a lot of pain. But he abuses the holy maiden and says, Ephraia, you damn bitch, and the holy maiden says to Lin Tian, still alive, such strong vitality. No wonder the temple can't eradicate goblins from the continent. This time, let's see how poison affects goblins. And Lin Tian angrily tells the holy maiden, you deceived me. Deceived everyone and killed Kelia. This is your holy order. This is your so-called human justice. And then the holy maiden puts a stick in Lin Tian's mouth, due to which Lin Tian starts feeling a lot of pain, and the holy maiden is saying to Lin Tian, how strange, a weak and trashy creature like you, a lustful goblin, dares question human justice. Kelia was bewitched by you and dared to speak for you. That's a betrayal of humanity, and the holy order. Her death was her final loyalty. Goblins are nothing more than vermin on this continent. For the holy maiden to speak to you is a great favor. You should be grateful and use your small, disgusting body to contribute to human and holy order experiments. And the holy maiden uses her power to attack Lin Tian, due to which Lin Tian starts feeling a lot of pain, and he is close to dying, and he is thinking, am I going to die? So unwilling, it's all my fault, Too foolish, reincarnated from a human to a low-level goblin, I foolishly held on to human compassion, thinking they were righteous and kind. Weakness and naivety were my deadliest mistakes. After being taken back to the human village, Loder and Ephraia tortured and toyed with me in every possible way, never believing a word I said. I didn't last long, being toyed to death by a sadistic bitch. If I could do it again, I would never trust humans. If I could do it again, I would definitely grind their bones, drain their blood, if I could live again. But then Lin Tian opens his eyes, and he finds himself in another place, and he is very surprised that how can he still be alive. And after all, which place is this? And then the system panel gets activated in front of Lin Tian, and the system tells Lin Tian, the Goblin Life Simulation System has been activated, evaluating. Evaluation complete. You are dead. Due to your foolishness. You forgot you were a goblin. Humans will never trust goblins, nor will they pity goblins. You died after being tortured and tormented. The pain of this week's torture is imprinted on your soul. You will never forget the pain humans brought you. Your end is one of the worst fates for any transmigrator. Restarting and opening a new life. Do you want to start over? Yes or no? And Lin Tian gets very shocked after seeing the system in front of him, and he says, this is the system? This is my personal system? It activates only after death. This system bring me life? But it seems I will be reborn again as the lowest creature, a goblin. System, not do yes and no represent? And the system tells Lin Tian, report to the host, if you choose no, your soul will dissipate and die completely. If you choose yes, you will retain your current memory and system and be sent back to the Goblin Cave a week ago. And Lin Tian gets even more surprised on hearing this from the system, and he says, with memory? Going back a week? I get it now, this is a chance for revenge. I must get revenge on Loder and Ephraia. And Lin Tian clicks on yes. And he is very happy, and then we see that the system starts putting power inside Lin Tian. And the system says to Lin Tian, ding! Goblin Life 2.0 begins. Transferring to Goblin Cave. Ding! Goblin Life 2.0 begins. To help you survive a bit longer, the system has slightly strengthened you, and Lin Tian is revived again in the Goblin Cave, and Lin Tian is very happy to see this, and he is saying, it really is just a little bit, but better than nothing, I guess. Then the system tells Lin Tian, warning. Although you have been reborn, the danger is not over. The human holy order is about to reach the host. Please note, if you die again, the system will not be able to revive the host again. And after listening to this from the system, Lin Tian says, as expected, the order is about to arrive. I can't let my guard down. System. What can you do? So the system tells Lin Tian, this system is called the Goblin Life Simulation System. The host can simulate his life with this system to foresee future events. Please note, every choice the host makes will lead to different outcomes. Each simulation requires 24 hours after the simulation ends, you will earn points, which can be exchanged for items. And hearing this, Lin Tian says, simulation. That means I can see the future. Start the life simulation immediately. Then the system tells Lin Tian, current scenario, escape the Goblin Cave. The Goblin Cave you are in has been discovered by the Holy Knight Loder. To escape from the Holy Knight Loder, you need to make the following choices. 1. Warn fellow goblins and unite to face Loder and his men. Points plus 10. 2. Abandon other goblins and escape. Points plus 5. 3. Hide in the cave and pray Loder and his men don't find you. Points plus 0. And after listening to these things, the system Lin Tian is thinking, although there are 3 options, I'm sure, even if all the goblins in the cave unite, they can't match Loder alone. Only escaping can save me. Then Lin Tian chooses the first option and says, I'll simulate it first and choose the option with the highest score. If I can exchange for a weapon, I might defeat them with a sneak attack. And the system tells Lin Tian, you led the goblins in a desperate battle against Holy Knight Loder. Due to the large gap in strength, you were still slain by Loder and his men. You overestimated the goblin's strength. Summary: before making a decision, recognize your strength. Earn points 10. And Lin Tian is saying, just as I thought, relying on the goblins here is impossible to survive, but I got the points. Open the exchange shop. And the system opens the exchange shop, and Lin Tian is looking at the weapons and saying, there are so many weapons to exchange. But my points are too low. This dagger costs exactly 10 points. And the system tells Lin Tian about the dagger, a level N lightweight swift blade speed plus 10% strength plus 15 la small dagger crafted by a level ES, fragile but very sharp. And Lin Tian buys that dagger at the exchange shop. He buys it from the company, and looking at that dagger Lin Tian is saying, what a sharp dagger. It's worlds apart from goblin weapons. If I hit a vital spot, it could be a one-hit kill. Then Lin Tian asks the system, yes, right? System. Why didn't I see Kelia? Where did she go? And the system tells Lin Tian, K to the host's rebirth, some timeline details have changed. In this timeline, Kelia was not captured by goblins and continues to live happily in the village. And Lin Tian is a bit surprised to hear this, but he is happy it also happens, and he is saying, I see. Looks like I fulfilled my promise to Kelia. In that case, I have no more concerns. I must escape and survive. This is the narrowest passage. The entrance outside is smaller, so the guards will be relatively weaker. Then we see two soldiers outside the cave, and one of them is saying, these goblins are really disgusting. And the other soldier laughs and says, hang in there, this job is already pretty easy for us. And then Lin Tian is able to hear their voices from inside the cave. Then he hides and starts listening to their conversation, and one soldier is saying, this entrance is small. Any goblin that runs out is trash, and I can crush it with one hammer. And the other soldier says, don't forget, Lord Loader ordered that any girl who tries to escape in the chaos must be killed. We can't let this reach the village. So the first soldier says, got it, stop nagging. And Lin Tian gets angry after listening to them and says, damn holy order. For their rule, they even kill innocent people of their own kind. Let alone a goblin like me. I have no choice but to fight. And then Lin Tian makes his voice like a girl and shouts loudly from inside the cave and says, help! I'm a girl from Bright Town, captured by goblins. And as soon as both the soldiers hear Lin Tian's voice, they feel that there is a girl inside the cave and she is shouting for help. And hearing this, one soldier says, oh, here she comes. And the other soldier says, kill this straggler, and Lord Loader will reward me. Then that soldier starts going inside the cave, and he is holding a dagger behind him. And while going inside he is saying, come obey, afraid, I'm from the knights. I'm here to take you. But then Lin Tian attacks that soldier from behind, and kills him. And Lin Tian is thinking, come on. Humans! I'm here to take you back. Come on, human! And after killing that soldier, we see that the other companion of that soldier also comes forward, and he is asking that dead soldier, what are you dawdling for? Hurry up! And Lin Tian starts smiling. Then he moves forward to attack the other companion of that soldier using that soldier as a shield. And the soldier is surprised to see Lin Tian, and he is not able to understand anything. But then Lin Tian attacks that soldier, and the soldier is very surprised to see a goblin in front of him. Then Lin Tian attacks him, and injures him. Then that soldier falls on the ground, and he is surprised and speaking to Lin Tian, you can actually speak human language? And seeing Lin Tian in front of him, the soldier felt that he will not survive. That's why he is telling Lin Tian to leave him alive and let him go from here. And the soldier shows Lin Tian his family's photo and says, I have a family, a daughter. They're all waiting for me to come home. You're so smart, you must understand, right? I'm just following orders from the Holy Order. I was forced to come here. I'll give you another bag of gold coins. Yes. And a young girl. I'll bring you a fresh and juicy human girl. Consider it. The benefits I'm offering. But this is a trick of the soldier, he has hidden a dagger behind him. And that soldier attacks Lin Tian and thinks, there's an opening. It's distracted. Stupid beast. Die. And then Lin Tian attacks that soldier and kills him right there. Then Lin Tian looks ahead and hears someone's voice and he says, "It's Loder's voice. They're chasing after us. We'll meet again soon. Lauer. Ifreya." And Lin Tian takes that man's clothes and leaves from this place. And after some time, we see that the Holy Maiden and Loder come near those two soldiers, and Loder looks at the bodies of those two soldiers and says, "What's going on? Could there be goblins that slipped through the net?" And the Holy Maiden says, "A goblin that can kill those two must be a mutant, right?" Then Loder says, "Yes, it must be a mutant. If it escaped, that's not a good sign. Can't even handle a single mutant goblin. Useless." And the Holy Maiden is happy, saying, "A mutant goblin must be really fun. If we can catch definitely have a lot of fun with it." After this the scene shifts, and we see Lin Tian, who is very tired, and he is saying, "Finally. I finally survived. Since you all hate goblins so much, I'll deal with you in the goblin way. Goblins have the trait of upgrading through mating and devouring. While increasing my stats, I'll breed stronger offspring and expand my influence. In this life, I'll make every man's only desire to be death, and make every woman moan and wail under my feet." But then Lin Tian hears some sound, and he hides behind the tree, and he is saying, "Could it be that Loder and his group haven't given up on hunting me?" And then Lin Tian sees someone, and Lin Tian directly moves forward to attack him, and he is saying, "Strike first to gain the upper hand." And that man is very surprised to see Lin Tian in front of him, and she is saying, "Who is it?" And then we see that her foot hits a stone, due to which she falls down, and Lin Tian is surprised to see that goblin, and he is saying, "How did this goblin come here? And also, how can she talk?" Then when Lin Tian looks at her carefully, he knows that it is a female goblin. And Lin Tian is saying, "Why does it have female characteristics? As far as I know, goblins are only male. That's why they can only reproduce by mating with other species." And the female goblin tells Lin Tian, Please don't hurt me. I was just here to fetch water." And Lin Tian is saying, "What's going on? How can this goblin speak complete sentences?" Then the system shows Lin Tian the status of the female goblin, and tells Lin Tian, "Little goblin, level 3, race, goblin, class, God's messenger, title, female goblin, fallen god, pure soul, God's blessing, skills, gene devour, wild growth. If a male goblin mates with a female goblin, then the male goblin will become the legendary goblin god." And Lin Tian gets very shocked on hearing this from the system, and he is thinking, "What? Mating with her can make me a goblin god? So that means if..." And the female goblin, scared, tells Lin Tian, "I was really sent by the chief to fetch water. If I don't get water, the chief will beat me to death. Boo-hoo." And Lin Tian tells the female goblin, "Sorry, I didn't mean to. There. Don't cry." And Lin Tian gently touches the female goblin, and Lin Tian is saying, "If you keep crying, you'll attract Loder and his group." And the female goblin gets surprised after listening to Lin Tian, and surprisingly says to Lin Tian, "Why, you can talk too?" Then Lin Tian says, "Of course. That's right. Normal goblins can't talk." She probably hasn't talked much with other tribe members. Then the female goblin says, "You're so kind. Other goblins just hit and scold me. This is the first time someone has cared for me so gently. If you have nowhere to go, why not come back to my tribe with me?" And as soon as Lin Tian hears about the goblin tribe, he gets very surprised, and he is happily asking the female goblin, "Really? There's a goblin tribe nearby? We can't be sure if Loder and his group are still following. This isn't the time to mate. The priority is to find a safe place." And hearing this, the female goblin is also surprised, and she says to Lin Tian, "Why yes, I'll take you there." And Lin Tian is thinking, "'Twas just worried about where to recruit subordinates." And he says to the female goblin, "Take me to your tribe." After some time, we see the goblin tribe, and some goblins start coming out, because Lin Tian has already come there. And seeing Lin Tian, all those goblins are very surprised and angry. And those goblins are saying, "Why is he wearing human clothes? Never seen such a weird creature. This freak brought him." And Lin Tian, seeing so many goblins, is saying, "There are quite a lot of goblins in this tribe. Let's start here." Then Lin Tian tells those goblins, I'm here to join you. Let me see your leader. And the goblins get angry after listening to Lin Tian, and they all are saying, an outsider wants to see the boss. Ha! The boss isn't someone he can see just because he want to. Let's catch him first, and then take him to the boss. And then the female goblin comes in front, and she says, he's not a bad guy. Don't act rashly. And then the leader of those goblins says, what are you all gathered here for? Who's making all the noise? Then the boss comes in front, and all the goblins become happy on seeing the boss, and are saying, Boss. The boss is here, and the system tells Lin Tian about this boss, Big Goblin, level 25, race, Goblin, class, priest, title, breeding machine, sly old fox, God's blessing, skills, gene devour, summon, thorn control equipment, skull staff, bone necklace. And after knowing about that boss, Lin Tian is saying, there's a goblin with such a high level in this tribe. Then the boss says to female goblin, what are you doing with the outsider you brought back? So female goblin says, why yes, I brought him back. He has nowhere to go. And hearing this, the boss becomes very happy, and he starts laughing. Then he says to all his goblins, kill this freak and eat him. And hearing the boss's words, all the goblins become very happy, and move forward to attack Lin Tian. And Lin Tian has taken out the dagger from himself. Then showing his dagger in front, he says, wait. I can make weapons. Let me join you. I can make you stronger. And after listening to Lin Tian, the boss asks all his goblins to stop. Then he goes in front of Lin Tian and says to him, you don't smell like you're lying. Tell me, what kind of weapons can you make? And Lin Tian tells the boss, as long as we find iron ore, I can make simple iron tools. Give me some time, and I can make even better weapons than the one I have. This priest can also speak complete sentences. It seems the higher the level of the goblin, the smarter they are. With iron tools, we can defeat monsters or humans when we encounter them. And after listening to Lin Tian's words, all the goblins become very happy, and they all laugh and say, with iron tools, we don't fear humans. Great. Meat to eat. Na-na-na. More than humans, they prefer elves. With iron tools, go north. Na-na-na. With elves. Then the boss says to Lin Tian, all right. I'll give you this chance. Find iron ore and make iron tools within 3 days, and I'll spare your life. If you can't, I'll kill you, and her. And after listening to the boss, the female goblin gets a little scared. Then the boss starts going inside his camp, and Lin Tian is thinking, this old guy is really ruthless, he'll go mad and even kill his own kind. I can't confront him head-on with my current strength. I'll make some iron tools to buy time and get stronger. After some time, we see a scene from another place. And we see that female goblins and some goblins are going with Lin Tian. And the female goblin is very tired, and she is saying to Lin Tian, wait for me, we've been walking all day, I'm a bit tired. But then a goblin attacks the female goblin, and he is saying to the female goblin, screw you. Ugly thing, if you can't find iron ore, I'll beat you to death. And the female goblin is saying to that goblin, ouch, it hurts. Don't hit me. I won't do it again. But the goblin is not listening to the female goblin, and he keeps beating her, and he is saying to her, lazy and asking for death. Hit her. Beat her to haha. But then Lin Tian hits a goblin with a stone, and tells them to stop, and he is saying, I brought you along to help find iron ore, not to fight. I've already told you what iron ore looks like. If you want to stay alive, find at least one piece of ore in the valley ahead, otherwise, you'll all die. And on hearing this from Lin Tian, all the goblins get very scared. Then all the goblins run to find the iron, and they are all saying, he's going to kill us with iron tools. Ha! Run, quickly! Damn it! When we find the iron ore, the boss won't spare you. And Lin Tian is thinking, what he says is true, even if I make the iron tools, getting killed is just a matter of time. And then the system tells Lin Tian, if a male goblin mates with a female goblin, the male goblin will become the legendary goblin god. And Lin Tian is thinking, it's time to think about getting stronger. Then Lin Tian tells female goblin, Goblin, you don't cry. And Lin Tian goes close to female goblin, and wiping tears from her eyes says, Goblin, will you stay with me? As long as you're with me from now on, I'll protect you, give you meat to eat, a warm place to stay, and no one will dare to bully you. And hearing this, female goblin is a little surprised, and she says, really? So Lin Tian says, of course, I keep my word. But we're too weak to avoid being bullied. I need your help to get stronger. So the female goblin asks Lin Tian, how can I get stronger? So Lin Tian tells female goblin, if you're willing to have children with me, I can get stronger. And on hearing this from Lin Tian, the female goblin starts blushing, and she says to Lin Tian, really? But I've never tried before. And Lin Tian tells female goblin, it's okay, as long as you're willing. And then Lin Tian kissed the female goblin. Then after this, Lin Tian makes the female goblin lie down on the ground. And the female goblin is saying, I want you to get stronger, please, let me have your babies. And Lin Tian slowly starts fulfilling his fantasies. And the system is saying to Lin Tian, ding, the host will have a total of 7 children with Goblin U, increasing the level cap. Due to the talent limit, you gain attack plus 8, HP minus 100, defense plus 10. Little Goblin, level 7 max level 17, race, Goblin, class, none, title, low-level monster, defiler, God's blessing, potential god, HP 40, strength 10, defense 9, skills, gene devour, equipment none, overall 65. And Lin Tian becomes very happy seeing his increased power, and he is thinking, not only did my level increase, but even my form has improved. With this, my chances of winning against the goblin priest are much higher. Then Lin Tian lifts his clothes and covers the female goblin's body. And Lin Tian is speaking to female goblin, from now on, you're mine. I'll protect you for life. And the female goblin happily tells Lin Tian, you're so kind. Then Lin Tian hears someone shouting. And that voice is of a goblin. And we see that a very dangerous demon wolf is chasing that goblin. And a goblin has iron, and he is running away from that demon wolf. And when Lin Tian sees iron with that goblin, he gets very surprised. But he is also happy, and he is thinking, these guys actually found iron ore. But they also brought back some trouble. Then Lin Tian says to female goblin, wait here for me. And the female goblin says to Lin Tian, it's wolves, be careful. And we see that the demon wolf is about to eat the goblin. But then Lin Tian moves towards the demon wolf and attacks him with his dagger, and the goblin is shocked to see this. Then we see that Lin Tian has killed the demon wolf very easily. And he says to the goblin, well done, give me the iron ore, and the goblin, scared, starts giving iron to Lin Tian. And Lin Tian is very happy and he says, the quality is good, find some more, and I'll make weapons for you when we get back.